Hello, dear Gemini. I am Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary revolutionary astrologer, bringing you your May 2022 horoscope. And this is if you have a Gemini sun, moon, or rising sign. And we start the month just coming off of a beautiful new moon solar eclipse. It was a partial eclipse, but we're still going to be feeling the effects of this new moon because of it being an eclipse. And we often can feel it a few weeks before and a few weeks after. And this month, we have some marked things to put on the map, especially for you, Gemini, because your ruler Mercury is going retrograde. And that's not an unusual thing because it happens 3 to 4 times a year. And the bigger significance is that it's happening in your sign. So you are going to feel the effects of this probably more than most. Now, before we jump to that, Venus, our planet of love and beauty, harmony, relationships, values, finances, moves into the sign of Aries right at the beginning of the month on the 2nd. This is activating your 11th house. This will most likely give you opportunities to feel more social, to connect with really strong, powerful women. Maybe you will find that you can easily ramp up your power and your independent thinking and the way in which you do things, which could be pretty flamboyant, if you will. With this being in the sign of Aries, you most likely will find yourself the center of attention in different social circles, especially if you are sharing your opinion, your ideas, and doing it in a way that people see you as a free thinker, which is something I think people are going to be really attracted to right now because we're tired of the status quo. And again, I'll point to this new moon eclipse that we just had. It was also canoodling with Uranus, so anything goes. So I imagine, Gemini, that you're still in the middle of happy surprises, I would hope, because Venus and Jupiter were canoodling, and Venus is exalted in Pisces, which now she moves out of Pisces and into Aries, and she's ready to take all that she has imagined and all the romance and all of the ideas that were hopefully attracting to you and ready to put them into some sort of mental form, some communication, something that you're very versed in, right? I would also say that you may find a lot of your friends, especially female friends with Venus here, needing your advice, your support. So if you are, let's say, in business and you work with women in general, then you may find yourself having new clients coming to you or someone promoting you and seeing you, your greatest gift being that they consider you somebody who's friendly and easy to talk to. And so this can help bring in more opportunities for you. The other emphasis here is Jupiter will enter Aries shortly after Venus on the 10th, but it's also the same time that Mercury stations retrograde in your sign. And so this is going to affect your 11th and first house again. But with Jupiter here expanding your social circle, and even though Mercury retrograding in your sign, this could have you starting conversations at the beginning of the month and planning some social settings and having some social time that now you get to maybe do it behind the scenes, or you revisit certain relationship dynamics that are important to you, especially if, let's say, some of you Geminis, we'll talk romance for a second, if you feel as though you haven't had the right start to a new relationship, or you feel as though it's just been a lot of lighthearted connection and you're wanting to go deeper, you may find that around this time, the middle of May, that you get some good news, some form of energy here that gives you confirmation that the relationship has a lot more substance to it than just the lightheartedness. However, with Jupiter in Aries, in that 11th house, again, your social circle is going to expand. You may also find yourself naturally teaching others about what it really means to be in a relationship, or what it means to be a friend. What also I would say is that if you have had some relationships that have been a little wonky in the past, you have a chance to revisit them. Some of you may have been separated from a friend, loved one, somewhat, you may be a spouse, and they're going to come back at this time to revisit and to hopefully have some deep healing, especially around the middle of the month when we have a full moon in Scorpio, another eclipse, and this is in the 6th house. And so you can find yourself letting go of the past, letting go of any feelings of hurt, betrayal. Forgiveness is a big emphasis during this full moon, even though the moon is not exalted in Scorpio, and Scorpio is a very intense sign. In the sixth house, it's a little tough because sixth house has to do with self-development. It has to do with health, and not just physical health, but mental health. And so if there's been stressors, that sort of thing, all of that can come to light. But what I want to say is, remember that you can't heal what you don't feel. So give yourself permission to feel things, to walk through them, get a third party involved if you need to. And you'll find that when you come out the other side, especially when the sun enters your sign on the 21st, activating that first house and expanding the sextile with Jupiter, that you can finally feel as though this, and I'll say happy birthday, that this birthday beginning for those May Geminis and into June, that you can have something to celebrate. And you can find that because you are able to let go of the past, you become more optimistic with the future. There's a lot of hopes and dreams that get fulfilled here. Some of you Geminis who, again, I'll point to relationship, who maybe have struggled with expressing yourself or finding a sense of purpose within that relationship, that now you can start to find that because you're revisiting and redoing some of the conversations and decisions you may have made in the past. Now, one other thing I will offer is that if you are working with any transportation, any form of communication during a Mercury retrograde, as you know, things can be misunderstood. There can be miscommunication. So take your time, get a third party, get a second set of eyes. Try not to sign any contracts or make major commitments during this time, but do give yourself a chance to wrap up the past. That's the gift of a Mercury retrograde. And it will also, Mercury will retrograde back into Taurus, into your 12th house on May 23rd. So if there's been some things happening, where you have been pushing yourself, you've been in the spotlight, you need to retreat for just a little bit, have some backroom conversations. Maybe there's some private discussions going on to help maybe set things up for success in the future. During this Mercury retrograde, it's a good time to do that. Not a great time to execute new things. So if you can hold off on starting a business, a relationship, buying a car, that sort of thing, then do so. If for some reason you have to buy something new or you have to start something new, then do so knowing that you may have to revisit it down the road. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. And Mars will enter Aries on May 24th. So you're going to have a lineup of Aries energy in that 11th house with these planets. And it's going to be Jupiter, Venus, Mars. And I think you're going to find yourself for a few days being able to feel truly alive, that your hopes and wishes can be fulfilled. They may not have the legs yet in order for you to feel really solid, but you can play, you can have hope, you can have faith, you can find yourself fighting for a cause that's near and dear to your heart. Maybe you're fighting for that underdog who maybe a friend who needs some help and they just don't have the voice. That can give you a sense of purpose. And you can also find yourself, I feel a few of you Geminis will be asked to take on a leadership role. And then when that happens, you can show what your real acumen is, what your talents and your gifts really are. And that is going to help set you up for more success down the road. When Venus enters her sign of Taurus on the 28th, this is going to be in your 12th house, you can find yourself easily able to nurture yourself, to take care, maybe go on a retreat. It does happen around the Memorial Day weekend. So if you're observing that, get your beloveds, your friends, get over to a retreat, maybe go to the mountains or the rivers or the ocean and get a house together and just be with each other, have fun, enjoy, because right after Venus moves into Taurus on May 30th, we have a Gemini new moon. And so when this new moon happens for you, you get to start your true solar return intentions for the next year. What is it that you ultimately want to manifest? Many of you Geminis are probably thinking about romance and finances right now. I can sense that with a lot of you. So if those are your intentions, take time to really energize them, speak about it, write about it. With this being in your sign, which is an air sign, any sort of mental energy is going to offer that release for you. It's going to also set the seeds for intention to manifest throughout the next month. Also, I know that, again, Mercury is retrograde during that time, and it will go direct June 3rd, but get out of shadow mid-June. Use this Gemini new moon to set an intention that allows you to manifest over time and not be too quick to get frustrated if it doesn't happen right away. It's also during the new moon times a great time for you to circulate. If you're single, meet somebody new. That's the time to really do it, because it should be a lot of fun. And what I can say is, if you do meet someone, don't jump in with both feet right now. Vet them out because of Mercury being retrograde. If you are in a bonded relationship, Gemini, at this new moon, you may find that you and your spouse can have a lot of good conversations that just let you feel good and about each other, but don't make any major plans or decisions, new plans or decisions yet at this time. Use this time as really a chance to party, escape, that sort of thing, and just be with each other. And that will create more intimacy. And you'll find also that your partner is going to want to lavish you with so much energy and love to make you feel really special. Stay open to receive. Okay. That's probably the biggest theme. All right, Gemini, I hope this helps. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Come find me at jamiedawn.com, and I look forward to connecting with you. Have such a great month.